Okay, good evening. I'm Breton Oldamonte. I'm a senior university alumnus, a statistician, data analyst, and also a researcher. I have been having practicals related to the R Studio, which is one of the statistical softwares. And if we might move on progressively, we might aim to a better target. Helping one another is like building a new corridor in life. And also, I just wanted to introduce to you the three main books that we might be using in terms of illustrating different sections and subsections of our studio, and even those that might be found hidden. And also, we might be having some of the examples that whenever we use our app in our is in our devices, such as in a Windows 10 of any device, such as a laptop, a desktop, we might move on. We, we might be, we might have been learning more due to practicals. Practice makes perfect in life. So this is one of the first books that I might be telling you. It is called An Introduction to R, and we might try by using it a number of times since it has a number of contents, a preface content, the aim of this book, who is this book for, why an open book for, who are we, how to use this book, the book website, some R pointers, things, time sense, and many other things, whereby we might get a number of contents in them with its sub contents, even in terms of the graphic with the ggplot, the simple statistics in R, programming in R, the reproducible reports with the R markdown, the version control with the Git and the GitHub, the installation or installing the R markdown, and many other things. I think that those are just some that can be found in this software book, which was called Introduction to R. The second, the second book that we might use talks of the R for Dummies. This is a very good book whereby I used it even in my 4 academic calendar years while I was in Maseno University, pursuing the Bachelor of Science in applied statistics with IT. Statistics is something that covers a very huge area, not just one component, but also other components, because actuarial is a course, but it is a course in statistics. Demography is a course in statistics. Talk of biostatistics, it is a branch and also a course in statistics. So here is whereby we can work together to to admin or to adjust whatever gaps, to minimize whatever gaps we might be having. And also we might try to lower the number of challenges and difficulties that we have endured, even by use of the C++, the Java, and many others, because this is a statistical software that goes fast. The R for dummies is similar to one of okay, it goes hand in hand with a soft copy that was called I'll show you later on, but that is something that we used by use of calculations. It showed us when you calculate this, it gives you the result, so that whenever you're being given an examination test, you practice it and you might do things faster. Okay, I can remember the book. It is called the SCOMS. The SCOMS, and this SCOM relates to different units like the real analysis, programming, rather than programming, uh, not programming, but you talk of probability. You talk of the something called experimental designs. You talk of when you talk of this unit called the linear algebra. You talk of there was something called let me talk of the operation research and many others, because even the Bayesian analysis or the Bayesian decision making, that was a book whereby examples, calculations are there, whereby whenever you try, you might get even half of the questions in a test were, were captured from there. So they are for the dummies. This is a very good book whereby you have to learn R for analysis and processing, write functions and scripts for repeatable analysis, create high quality charts and graphics, and lastly, to perform the statistical analysis and build model. This was created by someone called Andre de Vries and also someone called Joris Mays. So that is, we have a website called www.dummies.com stroke cheat sheets. These are just a collection of information stroke rack. So these are the contents found in this book, whereby the first chapter is an introduction of this book, which is R for Dummies. Then are you ready with it? Introducing that R. Moving further is exploring the R, the fundamentals of R, the getting down to work in R, because you see this is just a part uh, having different chapters stated as getting started with the arithmetics, whereby vectors can be found there, the mathematical functions, all vectors, and many others. So those that you can see here, these are just sub-contents and further illustrations with other subtopics in the subsection. Then when you go further, you can get a chapter called Getting Started with Reading and Writing, whereby you can use the character vectors for text data, manipulating text, the factoring in factors. Those are just some of the subsections in this chapter, the sub-chapter. And then when you move further, it is going on a date with R. The next chapter is working in more dimensions, and also there you can move to a part called coding in R, having a number of its chapters such as putting the fun in function, moving from script to function, using arguments the smart way, coping with scoping, dispatching methods. The next chapter is controlling the logical way. And then we have a chapter called debugging your code. Another chapter is getting help. Getting help is like giving you more illustrations what a code might mean in a certain script, and also some of the examples in it, how you can maybe install the package, and a number of packages already installed. Those are just the help that comes from one of the windows in the R app, because an app that has 4 windows, they are of different kinds. The first is the script, the downer part is the output, the upper right is the environment and the history, whereby whatever result you get from the output, they come to the history part. And then when you go down, so this is the downer right part of it. Here is whereby you can get where might you pick the files from, where might you take the plots, the helps, and many other things in there, but we might kindly see it later on in time. And also you might show that making the data talk, and also many other things like manipulating and processing data as you go on, even summarizing data, and also testing differences and relations, working with graphics, creating faceted graphics with lattice, looking at the ggplot graphic, because ggplot is one of it's one of a package that you have to install. You have to install a number of packages as you move on with your script. And also when you go further, you might get the part of 10, whereby 10 things you can do in R that you've done in Excel. From there, again, you might go further in terms of talking the 10 tips of working with packages. You see something like that, and you'll have also an appendix with installing R and the R Studio, installing and configuring R, installing R, configuring R, installing R Studio, and the configuring R, and maybe chat sheet. Those are just summaries of whatever thing you learned from the R programming. And also the last booklet that we might be using is called the Book of R, which is a first course in programming and statistics. It's a very good book, and what we get here is that I'm trying by scrolling it up. So this is a book that was published by someone called Tillman M. Davis, which came from San Francisco. And what comes here is that which kind of contents can we be talking of? One, it might talk of a preface, its acknowledgements, introductions of R. When you now come to different parts, you can have the language, and this language might have its own chapters like getting started with the numerics, arithmetic, assignment and vectors, matrices and arrays, non-numeric values, the list and data frames, special values, classes and creation, the basic plotting, and even the reading and writing files. The second part talks of the programming itself, the calling functions. You have to get that in a code, we have something to like for loop, this thing called the while loop, the return loop. So there's a chapter called the conditions and loops, the writing functions, the exceptions, timings, and visibility. And also the other part talks about statistics and probability. Here we have the elementary statistics, the basic data, visualization, probability, and common probability of uh, distributions. Another part that we have here is about the statistical testing, modeling with a number of chapters, about six. One talks of the statistical distributions and confidence, hypothesis testing, analysis of variance, which is just um, with a small abbreviation called the ANOVA. We have the single linear regression, the multiple linear regression, and also since we have other regressions, we can be talking of the linear model, uh, diagnostics, and lastly, we can be talking of the advanced graphics, the advanced plot customization, going further with the grammar of graphics, defining colors and plotting in higher dimensions, and finally, the interactive three plots. So when I just scroll this thing down, you can get that you can get that uh, a subtopic has short illustrations and better examples. So whatever thing you have from there, you can you can check because they are like figures or pictures, and whatever thing you have, try by using it because you've been told this is a script code, and which kind of a result is that. Like for example, when you put something like 1 plus 1, which is which comes from the script, and giving something like um, it is not an output. Having hash is like giving maybe an illustration. This works out the result of 1 plus 1, which results to 2, and that 2 comes at the output part. So the working directories, what are those? Whatever thing you save, where does it come to? And many other things. So it is a very good in, indeed. So I just show you something small, and also from there, um, what you have to come here is that I have to show you where we can get these books from. When you get this thing called the PDF drive, we might be moving to one of the websites nearby, and when we scroll downward, we might be moving to a website called the www.web pdfdrive.net. And when you click the part that a section that I clicked, here is whereby you can get numerous number of books. Like, let me say, let us search for this book called the, the PDF, the Book of R. And when you come here, you will write it, the Book of R, because this is a website that has more than even 7 million books. So it is you to choose and further the book of the book of Now let me try. Or let me click my own. Um, Okay, so that's my so that's my sa- my account name. So if that one was hard to be found, let us try the R for dummies. R dummies. R for dummies. R for dummies. Where are these books? Okay, so do this. Just enter into this account, and you might, for example, when you are to pick any of the book, like how successful people think, you might click this thing called save to my drive, and then later on, click the part download, and it will be downloaded. And whenever further downloaded, you'll have to go further to click the part save as and make it to be a, a saved soft copy document. And for you to get this RStudio book, so you'll click the R programming PDF, and all the documents to be downloaded will be down here. Like one, which is called the Art for Programming. And if it is a good book in terms of art for programming, I will come, click it. It has been clicked, and I will come and save it. See, this is one of the books that I've saved, which is called The Art of Programming. And this will be an additional book. So I have already saved it. I have it already. And that is a book that we might be using. So as you scroll down, you'll get that any book that ends with a PDF, that is a book that you might try by using. So any any video tutorial that might be sent to the ASFA's YouTube channel, always be keen, because that is where you might learn with it. If someone might be good in any unit related to a course, this is like you're teaching someone as someone teaches you another way around. You get me? So that is where I've reached, and I just gave you a short illustration. Come to the PDF drive, come come to the PDF drive account, uh, website, sorry, open it. That is where you might get about more than 7 million books, because there are books of different kinds, like environment, history, engineering, psychology, medical, language, religion, sociology, geography, economics, and many others. These are just parts of the academic and education part, but there are many others like the biography, child youth, and many others that you're seeing down here. Have a good bye, brothers and sisters. Good day.